I'm Will.
Hey, and I'm Kevin, and this is the Will and Kevin Show, and we are just two guys with 2 cents. We coming to you tonight again with a whole nother topic. So what's the topic tonight, Will?
Let's do the lenses. Let's do what we feel is the best lens, the most affordable lens to get that's gonna give you a great image for under. We want 250 or
250. Let's go 250.
250.
250.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with Micro Four Thirds lens for the by Olympus.
Yeah.
35mm 1.8. This is a mean lens, sharp, fast. Whether you're using flash or just taking it on the go, I mean, this lens and the image quality is superb. You will not be disappointed with this for your Micro Four Thirds, and you can put it on, any Micro Four Thirds. So
yeah, it's nice and sharp, huh?
It is sharp, fast. The colors are just
amazing.
Oh, wow. Money, man.
Oh wow! All right, so that's the. Let me get this down, and this should be down the bottom when you're watching, but it's the Olympus 45mm 1.8 Micro Four Thirds mount, right? Oh, yes. Perfect. So, Will, I'm looking this up. That lens is not under $250. Break it down. How do you get it for $250?
I believe I won it on eBay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And,
oh, wow. Yeah.
And by me doing background on it and reading how good it is and hearing so many comments about it, I went to the wire with it and was able to nip the guy by a couple dollars and was able to get it. But it does retail higher. But if you can find it,
yeah,
great lens. You will not be disappointed with that lens at all.
Oh man, I appreciate it. And before we jump into all of the other great lenses that we recommend under $250, let's take a quick break to talk about getting lenses at a price point that you may say, well, none of the lenses y'all are talking about are $250. Well, the truth is, you're right. But on the other side, you're wrong. Because you can get a lot of lenses at a lower price point if you just do your research and look where it is and be patient when you're looking to buy a lens. Retailers hope that you're not patient and you just jump and pay that retail price outright. But if you spend your time looking, I think you'll do well. So, Will, you just said you got it from eBay, right? Give me 3 stores you look at excluding eBay. Tell me the 3 places you go when you're looking for a cheap lens.
Okay, I will do a search and I will come up, and I learned them from you, so you should know.
Yeah.
I'll go to K.com, K.com. I'm quite sure Kevin will put a link down there for that.
Absolutely, it'll be there.
And now on another one that you can buy, this is how I think about it sometimes. If you're trying to do your thing and you're trying to survive and live, all the time you don't have money to run out and put it and buy it on a lens. So what I do is sometimes I open up an account, and after I pay that lens off, if I want to keep that account open, I'll go back and get something else. But MPB.
Oh yeah, MPB.
MPB.com.
I forgot all about them, but that's where I just got MPB.
I go to them. I see what they have. So K, MPB, sometimes Adorama. I'll do it. That always pops up anyway, so I'll just quickly go through Adorama. And so there'll be the sites that I go to even before I get to eBay, because I like to get it from them guys because they have a lot in stock.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have their grades on them all the way down from their top, and then they'll put all the way down, and they might take a couple dollars off. So you still save it as they're coming down. And then so you can kind of negotiate which one you want to get. So those 2, and there's another site too. I haven't bought any gear off of it, but Borrow Lenses.
Oh yeah. Borrow Lenses.
And they have other gear.
Yeah, Lens Authority and Borrow Lenses.
Yep, Lens Authority.
Y'all don't know, they are lens rental houses. So they rent lenses. But after a period of time, they say, nah, this lens is getting older. Let's sell this lens. And they'll sell it as a used lens. It doesn't mean that the lens is in bad shape. I mean, I know, and I'm sure Will's experienced this before too. One of the benefits from buying from a store or one of the Borrow Lenses, Lens Authority, those type places, is that even sometimes they tell you the lens is just in fair condition. And when you get it, it looked brand new to me. I was like, I don't know what you're looking at. The lens looks perfect to me.
Yeah.
Whereas I bought lens off of eBay and they tell me it's in fair condition. And I'm like, this is not fair. This doesn't even work. So, so no, all of those sites are good. I don't want to leave, and just in case one of them want to sponsor us one day, I don't want to leave B&H off the list. B&H, and when I mentioned B&H and as Will spoke of Adorama, when we mentioned those, I'm talking about looking in their used section. Very rarely, unless you just gotta have a certain lens, very rarely do I consider buying a brand new lens. I'll try to find it used first and foremost above anything, right? Who else? I got one more. Hold on. Who else do I buy
There's
from?
a couple of them out there. I just can't think right off the hand. I might have to look at my paperwork.
For your FD lenses and your lower end lenses, I'm gonna say it wrong, but look down below because I got it. But it's called Camera. I want to say Camera or Camera. Yeah, Camera. Yeah. So I used to buy a lot of lenses, sub $100, sub $50 from them, and while we're showing you specific lenses, every lens has a purpose. Even a bad lens can serve a purpose to give you a bad image, that purposely made bad image. So don't believe that a lens is bad, because sometimes it may not be your workhorse, but it may be a lens that comes in and helps you out for a specific need. All right, so.
And hold up 1 minute.
Go ahead.
I have one of my old papers that I had on gear.
That's right.
And every once in a while we deal with Craigslist. Sometimes,
oh, yeah.
If you know somebody's local, sometimes you can bargain with them because they're just trying to dump it, and you can meet up with them local and go ahead and do that quick exchange and be done with it. So yeah, Craigslist. And then here's another spot. It's not really the lenses, but they sell the adapters, photo diox.
Oh yeah,
it's photo diox, and you can get any type. So you might find an old vintage lens that of course might not fit one of the modern DSLRs or the Micro Four Thirds, Sony's or any of them, but they might have the adapter that you can put one side, the new lens or the old lens, and adapt it to your camera.
Absolutely.
And they have a rack of them. I have plenty of adapters around that you can get. And so that'd be a way. That's why I've been into the lenses so deep, because whatever lens I might run across, somebody might have a rummage sale, a yard sale, and you say, man, that's a great glass, but I can't fit it. You go on Photo Diox, and they might have that adapter. You get that adapter, and bam, now you're using that same lens that you normally wouldn't even be able to put on your camera.
Absolutely.
There's another way to get a come up on. That's why I have so many lenses, because I will buy adapters in a minute. I say, Kevin, do they have an adapter for it? Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. And I go right on that site.
And that's one of the good things about having Micro Four Thirds too. A Micro Four Thirds camera allows you to adapt down because of the sensor size and the close proximity of mirrorless cameras, that you can extend that lens out with an adapter, and you can put pretty much everybody's lens on a Micro Four Thirds. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Photo Diox. Oh yeah, I've used Photo Diox before too. But yeah, that's just keep in mind. And Facebook Marketplace lately, depending where you live though. Mm-hmm. I'm in a city that can't always trust Facebook Marketplace, but I mean, trust me, they have good deals just like Craigslist too. Thank you very much on that, Will. All right, so we have the Olympus 45mm 1.8. That tops Will's list. I'm about to throw a lens out here to compete with that. And this is for all my EF mount people, Nikon mount people. And I cannot say this brand, but it's called Yongnuo. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna put it up right here. Everybody see that? Perfect. Yep.
I have their light.
Yeah, this is a 35mm 2.0. It is if anybody knows these brands, this is the 35mm 2.0. But I have not only this, but I have the 1.8 millimeter and the 85mm. I mean, it's 50mm 1.8 and the 85mm 1.8. I got the set because I was a big fan of the Nifty 50, right? So let me just pop this out. So if I showed it and I'd say, I'm a big fan of this Nifty 50 here. But that same company makes the knockoff of the Nifty 50, and you can get it for like $50. The 35 2.0 and the 85 1.8, they both are knockoffs of the same Canon lenses. And the great part about it is they're all sub $200, not even $250, but $200. But my favorite is this 35 2.0. It's great. And I'll just say this too. And if you watch reviews, and I suggest everybody to go watch reviews on lenses, people will say, it's not as sharp as the Canon 35 2.0. Here's what I'll say to you, perfect. Because in cinematography, sometimes you don't want it to be overly sharp. You want it to be sharp, but not as sharp, right? So one good thing about that is it's, to me, perfect for cinematography. And I'll say all three of them, but the 35 2.0, when you put it on a Micro Four Thirds, or in my case, because I shoot mainly with a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K, that's more like a 4/3, not Micro Four Thirds. So right about 2.0, it hits that sweet spot at 70 millimeters. At 2.0, I drop it down to the industry standard. What is it, Will? Will just taught me that.
What did you say, 2.8?
2.8. I drop it down to 2.8. And we'll talk about this a little bit later, but just a glimpse of what I'm saying. When you put a EF onto a Micro Four Thirds using what we use a Viltrox, right? Viltrox. M2. It drops it down to 0.71. So it actually makes it small, faster, and gives you a bigger image, right? So now it's really dropping it from a 2.0 down to somewhere around a 1.4, 1.5-ish range. When I double that back up to 2.8, it gives a beautiful image. Right around, it's a little less than 70 millimeters, probably right around 60 something, a beautiful image that I can use for a lot of scenes and shooting. So anyway, that's me. I'll be honest, I didn't even get that one used. I said it earlier, I tend to get all my stuff used, but when a brand is so inexpensive, I feel like I'm doing a disservice buying it used. So anyway, that's my number one under $250, just for all of the reasons that I use it. All right, Will, on to your next one. Throw me your number two.
Under 250?
Under 250.
Well, then it becomes a little difficult because of the look. What kind of look are you looking for? Are you going to do, is it for film? Are you doing photography? So I used to search for lenses, some of the old Russian lenses that was made by Zeiss. Zeiss was making lenses for Zeiss after the Germans fought in World War II. Germany had to repay back the Soviet Union to rebuild their optic plants and all of that they fought in the war. They destroyed them. So as a way to pay back, Zeiss did the glass, but it was housed in the Russian body. So when they did their lenses for them, so you can look through some of the Takimars and some of these brands, the Russian, the Helios and those brands like that. And you'll have a Russian body, but you have Zeiss glass inside.
Oh, wow.
And they're older brands. It's hard to find them, but sometimes you can find them for under 200, on eBay and places like that. And they have sites that's people just basically dedicated to finding those lenses. And that gives you a great look because you're getting the Zeiss glass, but you're getting it in a Russian body. I have not the Takimar. It's a couple of them that I had. And they're real small, and they basically give you that nice filmic look as well.
Right.
Nice bokeh and all that kind of thing. Manual lenses, they manual.
Right, and we are. Matter of fact, we'll talk about those autofocus versus manual lenses, and does it make a difference? Probably on another episode. But that's so. Did you come up with one? And why you're looking for it. I'm about to tell you exactly that 16 millimeter lens that you had, because I remember
it now.
It was a Zenitar.
Zenitar, you're right.
Was it the Zenitar? Yeah, it was a Zenitar. Yeah, Zenitar. You had it, yeah.
Yep.
You don't have that anymore?
No, I don't have. I think I sold it to somebody or something.
Oh, sweet. All right, so out of
What's
what
it
you
going for
have,
now, Kevin?
huh?
What's it going for now? You still see it?
Yeah, it's one right now. You know, I'm actually looking at Ken Rockwell. I don't want to start giving out names because we'll do an episode of all of the people we want you to go check out. Here it is. It's one on eBay right now, y'all. And this is the kind of show we produce, y'all. We go give you live and direct feed information. So it's hard right now. $225 for a 16 millimeter 2.8.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and it has the mount on them because they are M42s, right?
Yes.
And then they a lot of these have the M42 screw mount, but they come with the Canon EOS adapter. So yeah, definitely. Yep, 220. So still under 250. Still under 250.
That was a great lens as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What's your work? So I see we can't get into it because I know what Will has he has a lot of lenses that are above the 250 mark. So since he doesn't want to throw one specific lens out or he can't pick one, I'm gonna go with my next one.
And what's that?
And I told Will before we started recording that I'm gonna hate on him. I pulled this right off my camera, so you see I don't even have a cover on it, right? Yeah. It still has my follow focus ring on it to let you know that I use this lens. And it's anybody who may know, listen, the Sigma 17 to 50 2.8 with optical stabilization. This lens right now is not under 250. And the big reason is because prices as of September the 16th, 2020 are crazy. The market is absolutely insane right now. Mm-hmm. But I got this lens on Adorama for $249. A couple years ago, I still use it. It is my standard out of all six lenses I use in rotation. This is my stay on the camera go-to because it is a zoom lens. It's in that range because I'm shooting in 4/3. It's, you know, with the doubling effect of everything, it is the perfect range for me. So that 17 becomes 34. Perfect. So I love it. It is sharp. It is not as sharp as its big brother, the 18 to 35, which Mr. Will has over here. But it comes in handy. It looks good for pictures and on video. So I like it. So that's I tell people, Will has one of these. Can you show it, your Tamron? I'll let you speak on it. The big fight is the Sigma 17 to 50 and that Tamron 17 to 50. Mm-hmm. You might not hear as much about those lenses anymore because Sigma came out with an 18 and 35 that destroyed the industry, right? But those lenses are extraordinarily great. They are workhorses. How long have you had your Tamron?
Tamron, I've had that for a while. And let me just preface some of the purchases when I do go for a little bit more expensive lens, is always prefaced on the fact that I just got a job to do something. Right. So if I get a wedding or, you know, and I know I got money coming and I want to try to put the best image every time out. So if I see something that I could use, like when I got the 18 to 35 Sigma, I was supposed to do a shoot in Atlanta. And that got canceled. But me thinking going ahead further, I wanted to have the best that I could shoot with at that time. Right. Even though that trip didn't work, but I still had it for other events that came up. Mm-hmm. So whenever I get a possible job, I'm saying, what can I put, like what they say, put your best foot forward going into that job. And I try to always look for the meanest lens that I could get because I'm going to make the money back. You know, so I'll just go ahead and invest in myself and go ahead and get the lens.
Oh, perfect. Sounds good. So that's, for me, the two lenses that I will show that are sub 250. Most of my lenses I buy, I try to get dirt cheap. So I have a lens coming. It'll be probably 10, 15 episodes down. but I have a lens that I got my eyes set on. And it's even going to be a surprise to Will when he sees me pull the trigger on it. Today I was shopping. I told him I was online shopping because somebody offered me a 4-digit credit line on, and I'm like, man, what can I use this on? So I think I'm going to get a lens, and I'm going to keep it a secret until it arrives, because sometimes you think you're going to get it, it's not in stock, you know, all the crazy stuff. So keep it under wraps. But those are my 2 favorites. We want to give you I'm going to throw out some names of some lenses that are lenses that you should consider having if your budget is under $250. We spoke of it before we started recording, but you have to get the Nifty 50 if you're a Canon person, or if you're a Micro Four Thirds person looking for a 50mm 1.8. Remember that Nifty 50, if you put it on the Micro Four Thirds camera with a Viltrox or what's the big brand that does the adapters, the speed booster?
Yeah, I can't remember the speed booster.
Oh man. So if y'all don't know, speed boosters are adapters that actually have glass built into them that actually increase the speed of your lens and the aperture. But the #1 speed booster for a lens is, and you see me slow talking right now, it's only because I'm looking for the name of the best. Metabones, thank you.
Metabones,
#1 speed boost out there. But me and Will are not #1 people. We are #0 because we put ourselves in a better position all of the time. So Viltrox works perfectly fine, but Metabones is the leader in the industry of speed boosters. But even with the Viltrox, sub $200, $150, where you get Metabones. Was it sub? How much was it? Was it?
That was about close to 3, I think, wasn't it?
Was it that much?
It was kind of high when it really came out and it was jumping. It was kind of high when everybody was on it.
See, hold on. See, there you go. You got me looking it up. No, Will, no. $200 at the max, but you can get a Viltrox EF M2 for $130 right now.
No, I'm talking about the Metabones.
Oh, the Metabones is $600.
That's why I'm talking.
No, we're not talking about Metabones. That's why we tell you, Viltrox, people, Viltrox.
And I have mine close. I think I got mine upstairs in the bag. I thought I would have it sitting here in the case, but I think I have it in the bag.
Oh man, yeah. So Viltrox as an adapter, but it makes a lot of lenses great. So Nifty 50. I'm a big fan of sets. If you can come up on a set of lenses, right? Whereas I don't care how cheap it is. If you can get a 50, if you can get 3 or 4 FD mounts, all by Canon, or all by, who used to make good FD mount lenses too? Somebody else. I think you had a few.
I think Canon started them doing that.
Right. Somebody else used to make, but everybody used to make FD mount lenses for Canon. The same big companies. But if you can get a set of those, because what you learn about glass is the same brand, the same range of lenses tend to produce the same image type. And which I mean is the coloring of the quality, the bokeh shape is the same. All of those things, if you can get a set of cheap lenses, you can use that set. And just in my case, the 35mm, 50mm, 85mm, I'm throwing that Vidalantic. I ordered an adapter, the Vidalantic anamorphic adapter, the 58mm adapter, put it on all 3 lenses. They all become the same. There it is. Break it down, brother. There it is.
I just got this one for the, this is the 77.
Right.
This is for, I'm going to try this on a Taquina. Even though they say it works better on longer focal lengths, I'm going to play around with it and see how that looks. I think I made some nice little flares and stuff. So that's cool.
Right. Yeah, and you put it and you shoot a whole movie in the range with all of those lenses. So with that being said, anything you want to say before we close this video out, Will?
I think we covered a lot on the lenses, because we could be talking about lenses for days. But if what the people want to hear about, we talk about the adapters. You never have to throw no lens away. You always can kind of, use it, and then you might be surprised at the effects it get, and it can make you stand out a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm Kevin.
I'm Will.
And this is the Will and Kevin Show. We're just two guys with 2 cents. Till the next time, we'll see you later.
Peace.